Hi everyone, Nancy Morris here with another episode of the Morris Code. Today is a Dear Nancy, and I've got the answer to this question. Do you have a number one top tip to improve productivity at work? And it just so happens that I do have a number one tip. It is actually by far the tip that I recommend the most. It is, for me, the only thing you need to do at work in order to be more productive. And in a moment, I'll explain why I make such a bold statement. But the answer to the question about having a top tip to increase productivity at work comes actually from Mark Twain, a quote from Mark Twain. This isn't his quote verbatim, but it's pretty close. And it goes like this. If the first thing you do every morning is eat a live frog, you can know that's the worst thing you're going to have to do that day. And so the premise is about eating a live frog is to do the thing that you really don't want to do first thing in the day, or what others will say, feared things first. There's a book called Eat That Frog, and it talks about productivity tips and all the rest of it, but people don't usually explain why that tip is so important. So I'm going to explain why it's so important with a hope that you're going to take this information today and actually do this, but only do this. And I'll explain to you why. So here's the frog. Here's this thing that you have to eat every day, a live frog. Now this one's not live, and I don't actually have any live ones, but the idea is you take this frog or a similar frog or even a picture of a frog, I don't care, and at the end of the workday today, you put underneath this frog on the center of your desk the thing that tomorrow morning you're not going to want to do. Now, you don't want to eat the whole frog, potentially. You want to spend 15 minutes doing something that you don't want to do. Just 15 minutes every day. Find that one thing. Maybe it's cold calls. Maybe it's filling out a report. Maybe it's doing things that you think are mundane. Maybe it's another task that really makes you feel uncomfortable. So now I'm going to explain to you why this works so well and why I recommend it as the only thing you need to do. One thing is for sure. Your brain is highly creative. Even if you think you're an analytical person, your brain is highly creative. If there's something on your desk that you feel uncomfortable about, that you procrastinate about, that you don't want to do because you have some fear or concern associated with it, that incredibly intelligent and creative brain of yours will come up with all sorts of ways to avoid the frog that's sitting on your desk. So maybe your day sounds something like this. While you're sitting at home, brushing your teeth, getting ready for work, you think to yourself, oh, as soon as I get into the office, I'm going to do that report for the boss. I've been sitting there for a couple of weeks. As soon as I get into work, I'm going to do it. Halfway into work, either in your car or on the bus or walking, you say to yourself, okay, well, I'll check my emails first and then I'll do the report for the boss. And so you get into the office, you flick on your emails, and look, lo and behold, there's this really cool email from whoever. Okay, I'll just deal with this email, then I'll start on the report from the boss. Oh, look, it's about 10 o'clock, so I'm just going to get a cup of coffee, and then I'll start on the report for the boss. On the way back from the coffee machine, you stop by Jane's desk and you think to yourself, maybe Jane needs some help with something. I can help Jane. So you help Jane for a while and then, oh, okay, it's 11:30. I've got a lunch meeting. I don't have time to start on the report. I'll do it as soon as I get back from lunch. And so on through the course of your day, so that when you leave the office around 5 o'clock at night, you know, okay, there's that report for the boss. I'll do it first thing in the morning. And so it goes. And so you leave the day, and sure, you were busy. You got a bunch of stuff done. Well done. I'm happy for you. However, you're going to leave the office feeling deflated, perhaps a little not very accomplished. You're going to feel potentially flat. And that's because while you got a lot of things done, that frog is still sitting there. And you know it back here. And so that's why taking 15 minutes every day to eat the frog, or even part of a frog, which I call frog's legs, eating part of that frog every day, what that ultimately does within a week, maybe at the most 2 weeks, within a very short period of time, you will begin to feel more focused, more decisive, more motivated, because the frogs will start disappearing. And what that will do is build your confidence. And what it will do, more importantly, is all that creative and intelligent energy your brain is currently using to avoid something that you don't like, because we'll do anything to avoid pain. Once you start freeing that up, all that creativity and intelligence will start doing things it knows to do to be more productive. All the stuff that you've learned over the years is currently blocked by the frog, is currently blocked by that thing that you don't want to do. You start removing the thing you don't want to do, and all those courses you went on about time management and all the books and all the tips you've ever read, etc., will come out. And it will start to marry up with what you know about yourself and the sort of work that you do and the office that you work in. And your very intelligent brain will help you to be more productive every single day. That's why eating a live frog first thing every morning, or in this case, a wooden one, first thing every morning, is by far the number one tip. In fact, it's the only really significant tip I share with people, because generally speaking, when you're doing that, I don't need to teach anything else, because you already know it. And eating that frog will free up all that space in your head to be, as I said, more focused, more disciplined, more motivated, more energized, more connected, more engaged, just really enjoying your work. And getting rid of the frog is the key thing to do. It's not learning every other guru's tips and all that sort of stuff. It's eating a frog and then allowing yourself to do what you know to do. The number one tip for productivity is to eat a frog 15 minutes every morning. 2 weeks, if that doesn't work for you in 2 weeks, give me a call and we'll have a conversation, because I've yet to meet anybody in the almost 20 years that I've been doing this work and sharing this idea of eating a frog. I've yet to meet anybody that hasn't noticed a significant difference in how they feel and how they work. Talk to you soon. Take care.